The Fujifilm X-T50 camera is officially here, along with a new 16 to 50mm kit lens. Now, on a superficial level, you might think this camera is a successor to the X-T30 version 2 in terms of form factor and intended user, but it packs in quite a few top-tier Fujifilm specs, as well as a few completely new hardware features that really make this its own thing. It's a compact, interchangeable lens APS-C camera that features a lot of upgrades found in the X100VI, which is a little Fujifilm camera you probably haven't heard of, such as the same 40-megapixel sensor and improved video recording options. It also offers things like an impressive maximum burst rate of up to 20 frames per second, as well as 7 stops of built-in image stabilization. But in terms of what's completely new here, we have to start with this guy up here, which is the film simulation dial. The X-T50 is the first X-series camera body to feature a dedicated dial just to access film simulations. If Fujifilm's cameras are known for anything, it's their film stock replications that give you excellent filmic results right out of camera based on Fujifilm's classic film stocks. With the introduction of this dial, these are now more accessible than they've ever been. So the way it works by default is you can turn the dial to the C option here, which I think stands for custom, but I don't really know. But what it will let you do is once you have it set here, you can go into the settings on the camera and change your film stocks just like how you would on any other Fujifilm camera. But then what you can do is on this dial, you have access to some of Fujifilm's more popular film stocks, like Velvia is here, Riella Ace is on this as well. Classic Neg is a new one that's available here. So you can switch between some of the more popular ones, but what I really like is that they give you 3 fully customizable options here as well. So there's a separate menu item in this camera where you can customize exactly which film stock you want to go for these. So whatever film stock you like shooting with, you were able to have it quickly accessible on this camera body. Generally speaking, a lot of Fuji shooters tend to find a stock they like or make a custom recipe and stick to it. But having this style made me personally way more inclined to try more film looks in the moment beyond the 2 or 3 that I usually stick to. Now, spec-wise, the X-T50 actually sits pretty comfortably among Fujifilm's flagship APS-C cameras. You're getting the same 40.2 megapixel 5th gen X-Trans CMOS sensor found in the X100VI, as well as 7 glorious stops of 5-axis built-in image stabilization, which is even more than the X100VI and allows for smoother video as well as sharper images in low light or at telephoto lengths. Sheer performance-wise, this camera is no slouch either. It's capable of shooting up to 20 frames per second, and its maximum shutter speed in electronic shutter mode is 1/180,000th of a second. The camera also features the same autofocus improvements found in the X100VI, which uses deep learning AI to track subjects like animals, birds, and planes, trains, and automobiles. In my experience, these subject tracking modes along with the back AF button on the camera body gave me consistent and accurate focus, even in tricky lighting situations. But the video specs in the X-T50 are robust as well. You're able to record up to 6.2K at 30 frames per second, 4K 60, or Full HD at 240 frames per second, all in 10-bit 422. You're also able to do this in either F-Log or F-Log2 for an expanded dynamic range of 13 plus stops. And the thing that really surprised me is that you can even output ProRes RAW or Blackmagic RAW to a compatible Atomos or Blackmagic recorder. You're also getting Frame.io integration, which Fujifilm has been getting increasingly gung-ho about in their cameras and is great for both photo and video shooters. With this enabled, you can wirelessly upload your photos and videos directly to your Frame.io account while you're shooting, so long as you have an internet connection. Finally, the camera body itself is definitely in line with Fujifilm's retro dial-centric design philosophy. It's also compact, coming in at 123.8 by 84 by 48.8 millimeters and weighing just 389 grams. In addition to the new film simulation dial, you're also getting dials at the top for shutter speed and exposure compensation. For I/O, the X-T50 gives you a 3.5mm mic jack, USB-C port, and micro HDMI for external monitoring. And in addition to a 3-way 1.84 million dot tilting LCD screen, you're also getting a 0.8 times magnification EVF, which provides a refresh rate of up to 100 frames per second for virtually blackout-free image making. And finally, you get an immensely satisfying pop-up flash accessible under the film simulation dial. The X-T50 will be available body only, as well as part of a kit with a new 16 to 50mm f2.8 to 4.8 lens. This is a great all-rounder lens that allows you to bounce between portraits and landscapes in a single lightweight body, and the fact that it features an internal zoom mechanism means it's even great for video shooters on a gimbal. The 16 to 50mm is weather resistant with a minimum focusing distance of just 0.24 meters and provides snappy autofocus performance thanks to a linear motor system. The X-T50 is way more than just a placeholder camera while you wait for your X100VI to ship. It's an incredibly compact camera that still gives you the flexibility of interchangeable lenses as well as performance that rivals some of Fujifilm's flagship cameras. And for shooters who really like to play around with different film simulations, the new dedicated dial in the X-T50 may be a compelling enough reason by itself for shooters to pick one up. But that's a lot of hot takes coming from me, and I would love to hear some of yours, so let us know in the comments below what you think of the X-T50. This is Nick with B&H. Stay creative.